I guess I'm back live. I don't know what happened. I hit my microphone and everything went black. And of course, I'm not smart enough to know how to restart the stream. It just said was unstable or something. Hey Andy, how are you? In the grass. How you doing, Andy? Um, yeah, I was just rapping along. Just yeah, I think I did kill it. I don't know if I know you. How are you? Is it Wit 555? How are you? Pleased to meet you. Good. Yeah, it's okay here too. You can watch the other one. The other one was about an hour. I probably should have just ended it. There isn't too many people, and maybe I will. Maybe I'll. What I'll do is maybe I'll do another one tomorrow or something, um, and I'll let people get back. How you doing, Mitch? I was just talking about letting people go. I just wanted to make sure I said goodbye to everybody. Yeah, I got time. I mean, I'm bored. The only thing I'm going to do is I don't even know what time it is. I don't know what I do with my phone. I must have dropped it on the ground or something. Anyway, I don't even know what time. What does it say here? Oh, it's only 10 o'clock. It's only 9:30. Yeah, I didn't eat breakfast, so I must be getting hungry. What did I do? Did I turn that thing? I must have. Picture, sound, everything's okay, right? It looks good. Sounds good. I don't know if my sound's all right. I think. Cool. Thanks, Andy. So anyway, I don't even remember what we were rapping about when I did that. I think we were all ragging on Port California, like like I don't know. I growing up in the San Fernando Valley, I couldn't have I couldn't even imagine growing up any other place. Um, the life that I had as a kid and the stuff that we did, man, um, it was great. But some of the stuff when I got older, the taxes and everything, it got a little. A lot of my friends went to Arizona and got out of California. Um, hey Brock, how you doing? You just got notified of this one. You didn't get notified of the other one, Brock? I don't know. Some people say they get notified, and some people say they don't. I have a question. Let me put on my glasses so I'm not fake reading. I have a question. Did anyone see Chuck's? No, he just did that. That came out this morning, right? I haven't watched it yet. That's on his other channel, right? The um, No Time to Be Hungry, I think. You can put that up if you want, Mitch. It looked excellent. What were the prices like? I know some of that Kobe beef could be expensive, but if it's Thailand Kobe beef, I think they sell it over at or they did at the Robinsons Mall across the way over here. They had something there that said Kobe. I'm sure that it was Thailand. I'll have to watch. I'll watch the video. That'll give me something to do. Yeah, Chuck and Paige. he's got another channel. He's got a, I believe that steak one was on his No Time to Be Hungry channel. But I think if you go to No Time to Be Sad, I think it probably in his deal is dropped down. Probably has a link to that one too. I'd like to meet him someday. I tried before I got sick and couldn't quite hitch up getting there because he travels all the time. But a couple of times I didn't know how to. I guess I should have followed him on Facebook. But just recently on the trip on his way out, he stopped for I think a day or maybe 2 days in Surin. No, I think a day, and then he went to Buriram or something. But he stayed at a hotel that I showed my wife. She actually knew right where it was here in Surin. It would have been a good time to say hi to him. Well, everybody came back. All right. Well, thanks for coming back. I'm bored, so I'll talk. I'll talk until I can't talk anymore. You met them? Where'd you meet them at? In Mafia. Oh, you went there then, or did you meet them somewhere, Robert? Yeah, No Time to Be Hungry. That's Mitch put up the link there. I'll watch that when I get off. Where did you actually go to Tat Panom, or did you meet them on their travels, Robert? I met Foreigner Joe. I did a video with him, or he did one on me. He's the one that talked me into starting a YouTube channel. He's supposed to. He's reposting all his videos. When he does, I will somehow figure out how I can tell the subscribers on here to go watch it. He just did a video the other day saying, I realize that a lot of people have already seen these videos, but we're taking them from my old channel onto the new Thai Girl Gift and Foreigner Joe channel. And he'll post the one that he did with me. And when he does, I'll do it. But he's the one that talked me into it. I said, I don't really like looking at myself or hearing my voice or anything. But good people, real good people. I agree, Robert. The fish are going. I'll probably do a video this weekend. I've been feeding the heck out of them. I've done a little. I got to do a water change, and then we'll get them growing. And I don't know. Did I tell everybody what? I guess with Buddhists, it's. I was talking to my wife about what the plans we wanted to try to do for the. Oh, you went to the house, okay? The River Hotel for a few days, had dinner. Cool. Yeah, he seems like a very, very nice man. About having the fish for the wedding, because we're going to do it, I think in October. We're going to do the house opening, whatever, blessing, and our wedding in one day. And we were talking about doing it. Well, I guess she said, because I said, it'll be great. It'll be like going into a restaurant. Somebody come over, and instead of picking their lobster, they can pick the tilapia they want. We'll grab it out of there. A guy will gut it and throw it on the barbecue and be eaten in 10 minutes after it took its last breath. And she said that you can't do that. And I said, why? Why can't you do that? She said, you can't kill anything on the good day that we're going to be doing the wedding and stuff. She said, but what we can do is we can harvest all the fish, have somebody take it off our property, kill them all, bring them back, and then have somebody there barbecue them for the wedding. You made it home. Okay, you didn't wreck. Watch and listen to a lot of the videos. See, and if you were living in Thailand, that you wouldn't have to worry about that commuting. I'm looking forward to meeting you, everybody, actually. I know Robert's going to be close and around, and so is a couple other people that I know are going to be here in Surin. So, and then, like I say, I hope we can put together something, whether it be in Rayong or whatever, when everybody gets here, do a little meetup for a day or two and do a little, get together or something. Yeah, it is. I used to have my laptop in my car, and I decided against that years ago. Where you don't have to wear masks where, Andy? Yeah, but that'll work. Still bored in Erie, Pennsylvania? Yeah, I'm still semi bored here. Well, but at least this gives me something I rap and talk. You got to remember too, I don't get to speak a whole bunch of English um, here, so I usually do get to talk to. I talk to my friends. I've got a handful of friends that I still stay in contact with from grade school, probably 4 or 5, and then a couple of my cousins. But I hear my phone. What did I do? Did I knock my phone on the ground? Probably my wife trying to get a hold of me. Oh, that's right. Ah, okay. I'm on. Okay, nothing too important. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Me build? Yeah, they're still building. I'll put up like I said, I'll put up a video. I've got a bunch of information for. Like I said, I've been keeping track of everything. So if anybody is really serious about stuff, it was nice. I wish I could have known that. No, Dave, you shouldn't pay more than this much for a wall, or you shouldn't pay more than this much to have a hole drilled for your well, or you shouldn't. It should be in this range, even. Because I don't know if people are like me, but I like to know. And it's really weird because I got in a couple of arguments with my wife. I said if I was doing something like this in the United States, I'd call 400 places and say, here, I'm faxing you over a list of all the material I need, send me back a quote. Well, I guess they don't do that in Thailand. Um, the Thai people, they just hate to talk on the phone. They don't want to ask any questions whatsoever. And that's the hardest thing for me to get used to is, them not wanting to even ask anything. Honey, ask them. No, you don't want to. So it's hard. But that's what I did too when I was doing installation. I had 150 guys working for me, and before I left the AC company behind in California, I was I was running the construction part of it. So all my stuff, I mean, we did, we bought most of our equipment from 4 or 5, 6 different suppliers. Our air conditioners from like Carrier, Train, there's a lot of big stuff. So they had to be the bigger manufacturers, McQuay. Anyway, you probably wouldn't know those names, but I'd fax them over the plans or whatever, and I'd have it out to everywhere. Copper prices back then were, they were daily giving you prices on copper because it's like it would change daily. Hey Jeff, how are you? Exhausted. Yeah, exactly. You're right. It is expensive. When I bought the house that I have in close to Bass Lake, it had it's about a 2,000 square foot 3 bedroom house, my main house. Then it had a 2 bedroom guest house and two-car garages, and then I built a 30 by 60 by 18-foot eave metal building on the property. But the guest house and everything was nice to have, but to actually build one, you're right. I mean, it was just cheaper here. I'll just pay for your hotel up the street. It's cheaper. Yeah, I don't know. They look at me funny every time I don't have a mask on. Trying to catch up. I've got this massive amount of people in here now. There's 14, and I can't keep up with the chat. It's pretty sad. Language barrier. Yes. Training carrier. Yeah, those were my two biggest. That was the two biggest. Anything that was specced on a big set of plans was either um, carrier train or sometimes McQuay and on some big built up stuff. But uh, so I would always do that. I mean, and granted, I mean, I made a lot of money doing that because people wanted to take me out to dinner and give me, dinner tickets and passes and buy me golf clubs and take me golfing and and doing whatever. I would always go, but I wouldn't buy from them unless the price was right. So, but I don't know. I guess they don't do that here. They, or at least that's the way my wife is. But I think she's pretty common to most of the Thai people. Lake Erie, that's where you are. But well, it's got to be cold. Is it cold or is it hot time of year there? Cold? No, what are we in? We're probably starting to get warm, right? Or warming up. Springtime. That's late. Yeah, it was really weird, Robert. I've been going there. My aunt and uncle ended up buying a place from. There was a place called Ducey's that ended up burning. They built another one, but it wasn't like the original one. The original one was awesome and a whole bunch of fun. They bought one right. They bought a house right across the street. But when I was young, from maybe 9 to after after I was driving 16, 17, 18 years old, my uncles would take 2 to 3 weeks off every year and we would go to Bass Lake. And it was weird because from the San Fernando Valley, I would meet more people that I knew from the valley driving around Bass Lake or being on the lake than I would if I was in the valley. It was unbelievable how many people went to Bass Lake when they were younger. How that came about, I don't know, but we went to Bass Lake every year, 2 to 3 weeks. Loved it there. That was the best part about living there was I'd drive around the lake, had the fondest memories of my uncles, and because I had one uncle that had 7 kids, one uncle that had 3 kids, and then my mom had 2 kids, and then we had friends of the family that would go that had another 5 or 6 kids. They were just like uncles, and the memories that it would bring up from being there. I mean, I had a smile on my face every day I lived up there. Sunny but chilly this past week. Did you installed air conditioning, Mitch? Well, did you tell me that, or am I just old and going senile on everybody? I'm caught up. I didn't know that. You're an HVAC, or you probably told me, and I just don't remember. I'm kind of scared of going senile. Yeah, we had so much fun in Bass Lake, man. When we used to go there when we first went there, Robert, we were young, of course, 12, 13, 14 years old, and we were across the lake at the I forget what campground it was. I can't remember the name of it now. But what we would do uh, at the end of the day, of course, we were drinking beer even at 15, 16, 17 years old. We would take the cans and smush them down into make pucks out of them. Then we would take the bottom of the beer uh, cases, strap them to our legs and our chest and our face. And in the middle of the campground, everybody at about dusk that was camping there would come by and set their chairs up, and we'd have a full-on hockey um, game going on, and we'd spray it down so that we weren't kicking up dust, and we had an absolute ball. I mean, the people loved it. They were sad to see us leave after 2 weeks, but had a lot of fun at Bass Lake. Tin Man. Okay, makes sense. I'm real sharp, aren't I, Mitch? Is that what you're doing now? Are you mainly into service or installations, or what do you do? Or you don't want to talk about it? It's up to you. It's fine with me. And then start again. Yeah, commercial and light. Okay, commercial. Local 66 sheet metal workers. Okay, not service. Okay. Yeah, I had a lot of. I what we did was it was me and my best friend who's gone now. Well, I was basically in business with him. It was his business. We started it when we were 19 years old. We were the biggest non-union contractor in California, or in LA. When I left, we had like 200 employees working for us. When we first started working, it was just me and him. Just me and him. I knew nothing about nothing. He taught me about service, and his dad worked for LA Unified Schools, doing all the big ammonia absorption systems, big chillers, and everything. So we learned from him, and then it was me and him for the first year and a half, and then it went crazy from there up until the Northridge earthquake, and then everything went real crazy, and then he started taking over most of the service stuff, and I took over most of the installation stuff. But like I told people before, it wasn't, we were non-union in the sense that if the union paid $45 an hour for their techs or for their tin knockers, we paid $44.10, and we had 401ks and full medical. I mean, we weren't trying to, do it. We were trying to make deals with the union, but they just wouldn't, they wouldn't cooperate in any way. So, but yeah. And then we had 27 years. I had one fight over, of course, my guys not getting the money that I thought they should get. And so 27 years, seeing each other pretty much 7 days a week, going out to dinner, drinking, having a good old time. And had one major fight. And next morning I went over, dropped all my shit, told him I don't want nothing, and left. But it was interesting. Great trade for sure. I taught my little brother. He does residential now. He's got a little company of his own, and another one-man show now. Oh, general contractor. Okay, cool. Apprenticeship and maintenance. Yeah, I know. It was an excellent trade. Like here I am, 64 years old. If everything in the world went to crap, I could go and get a job within an hour and be making a living. And I don't care if it was devastation, because people are going to have to stay warm so they don't die, and they have to keep their food from spoiling. So all we did was big. We started out doing a little bit of residential, but after the first year, all our stuff was heavy commercial, hospitals, big commercial stuff. A lot of pharmacies or pharmaceutical companies, a lot of cascade systems, very low temp stuff, interesting stuff. I always had a thing like that. When I stopped being able to learn about something, I lost interest in it. And HVAC is one of the things every year they'll come out with something new, and I never had to worry about that. The fitter. You have water source heat pumps, cooling towers. Though. Yeah, it was great. When I was younger, it was okay, but in the San Fernando Valley, man, middle of summer, you could get 110, up on the roofs. It was just killer. And then my knees are shot. I was always a big man, but carrying 50 pounders of refrigerants up the side of buildings on ladders and kneeling on my knees. I mean, I just destroyed my knees. Yeah, Victaulic. What was weird about that is I was in the valley when we had the big earthquake in Northridge, and what they found out at that point, you you could only, now we're getting on HVAC topics. You could only use Vic on the condenser water side. You couldn't use it on the chilled water side. And what they found out after that, they rewrote all the stuff there to allow Vic on the chilled water side, because after the earthquake, all the chilled water piping and all that stuff was all broken. All the condenser water pipe and everything just survived no problem. It just slung in the wind and had no problem. So you actually own your own business, Mitch? Yeah, I had fights with him. We were best friends. He was the best man at my wedding. I mean, we were from grade school. We met in 5th grade, and yeah, he was a drinker, and we made a lot of money, and the money kind of went a little bit. I think it went a little bit to him. He liked it. Was he fair with it and everything with me? Yes, by all means. But I got to a point where it's just, how much money do we need to make? How much? I've got 8 ulcers. I've got people calling me up because my guys aren't showing up and they're showing up drunk, and I've got it's a crazy. You start at 6 o'clock in the morning and you stop at 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, and it got to be crazy. So I just got to a point where I said no. Then I left there. I went and worked with a buddy that was had an air conditioning company. He wanted some help on some stuff. I did that, and then I got a job as a building engineer up in Fresno, kind of as a semi-retirement. And then I basically got disability from my knees and everything after I was there for 6 years. So I'm on Social Security disability now, and I guess that'll change over when I turn 65. I don't know all the excuse me. I don't know all the stuff. I have reefer licenses too. Yeah, it was weird. I don't know what kind of licenses and everything else. I'll tell this story real quick so we don't bore too many people. We had a friend that wanted to start a company up in Washington State. He said, I've got a friend that they're building all these tract homes. He goes, we can make a ton of money, and we'll go up there. He'll give us all the homes. We'll put them all in. We can do this. And okay. So I marked it out on paper, and it looked good. So I went up there on a Monday, okay, to Washington. I drove up there in my truck. I got into town, got a place for 6 months rented, started finding out exactly what I needed to do, Mitch, and by that next Monday, I was operating, had a contractor's license, had all my bonds, all my stuff, everything, insurance and everything together a week later, and was in business. A lot different than California. I don't know how it is where you are, but they make you jump through 9 million hoops to get a license in California. I came back 6 months later. It was a fun vacation. We didn't make any money. We made a little bit, not enough to warrant being there. So I signed the company over to the guy there. He was a friend and said, you can make money at this. Gave it to him. Where are you at, Mitch? I know you probably told me that too. Use crescent wrench. Yeah, I was going to retire at 34 years old. My second wife that I had my kids with, second wife, had my kids with, she was a horsewoman, bought a piece of property up in Grass Valley, which is in California, up above me, kind of by Sacramento where TNT is. And bought a piece of property there, had plans drawn, had enough money to pay for the land, pay for the plans. I was going to take just one truck, a service truck, start Clark's Air Conditioning, put it on there. Hey, if you're getting this answer machine, I ain't around, call Bill. He'll come fix it. Whatever. I was going to retire. I think I was 34, and then caught the wife cheating on me, and divorced her 2 days after I caught her. But yeah, so it would have been nice, but I had to work. I still retired young. What do I do? More story someday. Epoxy, yeah, I bet. Yeah, we'll wrap when you come here, man. I'm open. We can meet up and we'll do a tour on the scooters or motorcycles for 2 weeks and go see some of Thailand and wrap. I'd love that. Oop. Ended up being my best friend. No, that sounds good, Stuck. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, he was a good man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved him to death. I still love him. He went way too young, 56 years old, man. Drank himself to death. They went in 3 times into emergency, bleeding from every orifice in his body. And the doctor told him the second time, said, maybe you think I'm kidding, but if you stop drinking, all your organs will regenerate and you'll be okay. But if you don't, you're going to die. Went in the third time. They tried to resuscitate him 6 or 7 times. And at 56 years old, he was gone. Okay, I'm trying to catch up now because I'm rambling and I'm getting bombarded. As we get older, our body starts. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Well, too, your knees are shot. Mine are gone. I got to get them done, man. I'm dreading it. Restaurants. Very small coffee company, tiny burger. Yeah, we did McDonald's. We did AMPMs. We did a lot of restaurants. I did a lot of ventilation calculations and stuff and drawings back then for kitchens, kitchen exhaust and grease and all that kind of stuff. I liked doing that stuff. What I didn't like was, working 12, 14 hours a day. Seattle area. Okay. That's where that company that I think was it Seattle? So maybe Seattle, Washington. Yeah, it was Puyallup. That's by Seattle, right? Puyallup. That's where I went and drove up that I just said that story about. I don't know if the guy still has the company up there or not. I can't even remember what the hell I called it. I think I called it All Temperatures Controlled also. I can't remember. I'm almost caught up again. Oh, what happened in California? Yeah, they have their tests, right, Robert? Yeah, I had licenses too. It wasn't too bad years ago, and then once you got them, it was okay. Even to get them now, it's not that big a deal. Hell, they have schools that teach you how to do it. Stuck in Florida 70, 80 hours. Yeah, I'm too old for that stuff. Okay. I was reading Mitch's. Sorry. Uh, Air conditioning was just that way, Andy, man. It was like when I was doing service during the summertime, you went to work when the sun before the sun got up, and then we did a bunch of places. I don't know if anybody's familiar. Robert, you might know. One of our biggest first accounts was Western Bagel. At the time when we first started doing business with them, they only owned the place in I think it was Van Nuys, And then now they have them all over the California and stuff. They sold bagels all across the country. But I would get called at 8 o'clock. We're going to lose product in this freezer unless you get over here right now. Go there, compressor be down. Needless to say, work all night long, get done at 4 o'clock in the morning. Maybe it's raining, putting up, whatever the conditions, you did it. And get home at 5:30, jump in the shower, my pager would go off, and right back out to work. So refrigeration was it was good money, but it was kind of a pain in the ass due to the fact that, if somebody called me up and said my air conditioner's, not working, and then, well, sweat, will be there tomorrow, but when somebody says I'm going to lose, $500,000 in product, you go no matter what, or you don't have that account anymore. They were our biggest and first account that we had. That's why you became a trucker. Yeah. Yeah, way far too young, man. I never thought I'd live to be 35, so I'm figuring I'm way ahead of the game. But that was the lifestyle that I had lived when I was younger. Yeah, if you take a long vacation, Stuck, that works too. I didn't take vacation. I was working during the winter too. Being in California, we were going strong all winter long with our installs. We're not a place that had like seasons where you couldn't work. The funniest thing though, I'll tell you, when I was up there, I got to Seattle and he took me out onto a track of homes, right? There were probably 600-800 homes they were putting in, all on like quarter acres or something. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, well, it's raining. He said, well, if we didn't work in the rain, we wouldn't work at all. I said, oh, all right. He said, plus most of our stuff, we do our work once they get in and kind of wrap the house. So we're not going to get soaked. I said, okay. So the first couple of days I was there, man, and I'm looking around and I'm thinking, how the hell they pour this concrete, And all of a sudden of course, pissing down rain all day, every day. I get there one morning and the sun's just shining. They must have had a line of concrete trucks 2 miles long waiting to get in there. They must have poured as many foundations as they could pour. They poured, and then it would start drizzling the next day. They'd start doing all their other stuff. As soon as the sun would pop up, that's all you saw was concrete mixers down the street. It was funny. I wasn't used to that. Yeah, that's the way it was with me. I retired at 50, 53, 54, something like that. 53, I think, about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more. But my body had it. They wanted to replace my knees 15 years ago, maybe even longer than that, both my knees. Yeah, I got to have it done. I'm such a baby. I don't want to be in pain. And they're getting to the point. I always said, I had the meniscus done. I had the ACL in my name, so I know the pain. But, I said that I'm not going to have it done until, this is too painful for me and it's affecting my life and it's getting to be that way. So I'm going to have it done. I don't know whether I'm going to have it or have it done here or go back to the States. I don't know. I did have it in, but my cousin retired. He worked for, he's in Connecticut or Boston, and he was the vice president of their joint replacement division. So he'd fly all over the world whenever they'd get they replaced a new knee or something. He would fly to France and he'd watch the surgery. And so I used to get updates on him. Hey, you got any new good shit? What do you guys got? But now he's been retired for 2 or 3 years, but I'm going to have to get it done. I just got to man up and do it. I know my uncle had his 2 knees done years and years ago. He was a mechanic and his knees were shot and he was in a lot of pain. And when he woke up out of the the surgery, he said, "Oh, this is unbelievable." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I know exactly what the pain was before because I've been experiencing it for years. This pain that I have now is totally different. That's from surgery, totally different than the pain that I was experiencing for years." And he swears by it too. He said to his dying day, "I would never not have this. I would have had it when I was, way earlier." Is the same thing that you're saying, Robert. Yeah, I need to get it done. Yeah, I did watch your video too, Rob. In fact, that's when I first started watching you, was right before you had the surgery. Mechanical engineers. Yeah, I worked for some too. I learned a lot, and I did a lot of my own drawings and stuff, and I like doing that. I haven't done it in years, but it was fun. But like I say, we were just I, I don't know how it is in Seattle. Not to say anything bad about tin knockers, but they have a tendency to drink a lot. They have a tendency to find the wrong women to marry. And like I had 100 guys, 90 of them were like that. I had 10 good, dependable guys. The rest of them on any given week, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12 would call in. Mondays were the word. I couldn't get anybody to come to work on Monday. But it was just a pain for me because, my phone would start ringing at 6 o'clock. Your crew's not here. How come they're not, all right, let me. It was a pain. I'm glad I got out of it. I probably could have made a lot more money in my life, but I'll tell you what, I'll take this peace of mind that I still got left, which isn't that great, but I'll take that any day of the week. Puyallup, yeah. It was. I really liked it there. They said that a lot of people, because of the rain and the doom and gloom, there was a lot of suicides and stuff up there. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. Everything was lush green, and I had a good time. It was like a vacation to me. I think I was there. I wasn't even there quite 6 months because I think I had a 6-month deal on the place I got, and I was there like 4 months. It took me about that long to figure out there wasn't enough money to be made there. 15 minutes from, yeah, it was very close. Oop, I'm almost, no, I'm not. I'm trying to get caught up. The safety guys of the construction site. Wow. That was wowing to Andy's 100,000 a year for the guy who holds the sign. From there. I don't know. I think I'm just old now, but ever since that crap happened to me, and I was 63 or 2 or whatever I was, I just don't feel 100%. I can't get into the gym. I can't get into a stride and really, I just don't feel right. I don't feel like I did up until I went into there. And I don't know if it's because of that experience of what happened to me and the devastation of me just lying there for 2 months, or in your case, something triggered in the heat or whatever. But yeah, Sepulveda Boulevard, right? I know I'm behind on these, Robert. Yeah, I don't know how many nights I spent there, but yeah, the company that my best friend worked for when we were in high school was that was their biggest account, Western Bagel, and he went there all the time and became real friendly with the owners. And when he went out to start it, I went out and we got the checkbook and the bank account and the checkbook and the licenses and everything that we needed and opened. We went over there and stole the account from them. They weren't too happy about that, but that was our biggest account. Probably was the thing that kept us going most all the time. Great people, great people. You took your test in Pasadena. Okay. Land of Smiles, Poveda Boulevard, Land of Smiles. I'm trying to get them to where I'm caught up. Man, if I ever get a lot of people in these rooms, I'm gonna be in trouble. make it to 40. I didn't think I would either. Like I said, I figure I've got an extra 24 years already. I think I was used to say 35. I thought I'd be gone. But if you knew my lifestyle back then, you probably would have agreed. That's good, Andy. You're lucky. But that one that I got was that thing when I had there, that pneumonia and all that. That was the worst and most devastating thing I ever had in my life. Most of them were like broken bones and my 2 or 3, 4 knee surgeries. Never had many other surgeries than that. Just the knees, and I always considered myself. I was always overweight. I always could stand to lose 30 pounds, but um, I've always felt healthy. Even when I was smoking, my doctors would always first thing they would say was, you need to quit smoking and stop eating, and I said, well, that ain't gonna happen. And then they'd always want to take an X-ray on my chest. They'd take an X-ray, and then the doctor would come in and go, "Damn, I wish I could say that it looks like crap," but he goes, "It looks good." He goes, "How long have you been smoking?" At that time, 30 years, I don't know, 40 years. And they would just shake their head. "You should start, quit." And I said, "Yeah, okay." But I was really surprised because I do Jones for cigarettes right now, but I know it'll kill me if I start smoking again. I always thought that I would smoke forever. Little lady on food. Came from India to have it. Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing but good things to say about Thailand hospitals. That one I was in, like I said, I couldn't have got better care in the States, wherever. They were phenomenal, and so I probably will. I'll check on it. I don't know what whether I'd have to pay if I went to a private hospital. But see, what's really weird is my same doctor. He's the one that I see if I go to the public, the government hospital, or if I go to a private hospital. It's the same doctor. I see the same guy that saved my life. So I don't know. I mean, if I could find a good knee guy and they could do it, and they paid for it, and I'd have his care, and then my doctor see it, then I might do it. I got to check into it and see how far am I behind. But it's really weird too because the lady across the street from me, the Indian lady up in by Bass Lake, she had it done too, and she was up walking around, and I mean, she was like you. She and the doctors told me all the time. Every time I've had stuff, they've always told me it doesn't matter. We get athletes that have their ACL done and they can't walk or do anything, and they're in pain for 2 months, and we get a 70-year-old lady that has it done, and she's up walking around and running the streets a week later. So he said it just all depends. Yeah, I do too, Robert. It's great. The people who got here, that if I don't think the channel is going to grow that big anyway. I mean, you have to be tuning, looking at me, but I'm fine with it just staying the way it is. I got no problem. I don't have any trolls, so that makes it nice. And I enjoy everybody that comes on here. Always has nothing but positive, good things to say. And yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, I know. You had hit on that on something I was watching, Mitch. Um, but that's why I say, man, if you can get out of there and get to Thailand, get to Thailand. Okay, I'm caught up. I think. TT, you're still here. How you doing? No, you're accident prone. You know, um, as soon as the knee replacement surgery, yeah, yeah, they wanted to get. I don't know if I told you, when they did my ACL. I'll tell you a gruesome story. When they did my ACL, it was an outpatient deal. I went in there. My leg hurt like heck when I got out. I found out later that the doctor had cut the ACL too short, So in the middle of the surgery, he had to go cut another one and come back. So they had the tourniquet on my leg way too long, and I was in a lot of pain. So it was an outpatient thing. My wife drove me home, and I was still loopy, so it was okay, bouncing, because about an hour from the hospital where I lived above Fresno. Put me on the couch. I wasn't there 15 minutes, and there's a knock on the door, and here comes a guy in there with a torture machine. It was a deal that held your knee and then bent it opposite way. Like this, it would go, you could set it for so fast and for how long. Put it on my knee, and I was starting to get the pain back in my knee, and he said, just do it for an hour, and then he gave me the times and how long and to do it. I said, okay. And I was already been up and walking, on the crutches. And they did the whole thing. My son was there. He was, maybe about 15 at the time or something, and 16. And so the machine get out. I go to get out of this machine and get up, and my whole couch is just covered in blood. Just soaked, ruined my whole couch. Done. It was a cloth couch. They get me in the car. They drive me down. I call the doctor. The doctor said, hey, man, if you come to the emergency room in the hospital, you're going to be sitting in there forever. Why don't we meet in my this wasn't the actual doctor that did the surgery. It was the one that took the calls for him. So why don't you come to my regular, a doctor's building where you go in, doctor's office. And he told me where it was. I said, okay, thank you very much. And he went over there so I didn't have to sit in the ER for, 14 hours. And went in there. I had the 3 holes or whatever, because they had the microsurgery. And the doctor started undoing it, and the damn thing started shooting. My son had my ankle, and the doctor said, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some bandages. And he put the old bandage over so it didn't sit there and do its thing. And my son was turning white. And I said, close your eyes, because if you drop my leg, I will kill you. And poor kid was getting sick, and he did that. Well, I guess it butched the stitch or something, and he had to get in there and stitch a vein, or I don't know, I don't know what he did. Put it in there and back, but it was miserable. And it was all because of that tourniquet that I didn't find out until way later, that they had on for, way longer than they should have, what was causing me all my pain. But I got to go and get it done. I know. I'm glad I got people like Robert that tell me I got to go do it, because I do have to go do it. Amazing how quick you're up and walking. Yeah, I mean, they do that with hips too. My wife was kind of like, I don't know if I ever told you, the one that passed away was a 60-year-old woman in an 80-year-old woman's body. She had both her hips replaced at like 50, 56, 57 years old. And they had her up. They have you up walking with the hip replacements. I guess they don't want, you got to move or something. But that torture machine, boy, when I looked at that, I didn't like that at all. I seen a guy in a walker and opened up his door. Don't get, yeah, Robert, I was the same way. Nightmare stories from different people, and from what everybody told me, it all depended on the doctor. And they had a couple of good ones in Fresno, like I said, the lady across the street. But I heard horror stories from different doctors, that people had went to, and I would never get it done, and it was the worst thing ever. I don't know. I just got to go get it done. I just have to man up. Yeah, my poor son. I felt so bad for him, man. Yeah, I didn't like being under the knife either, TT. But I guess it's just something I'm going to have to live with, especially with my breathing stuff. I don't really want them to put me out. So, but I don't want to be awake when they're doing the crap either. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's getting close. I promised myself when it started to affect my my living and my life that I would go get it done. I'll have to check that out. When are you having that done, Mitch? You gonna let everybody know so we can see how you're doing afterwards, or are you gonna come on and tell us? How you doing, Steve? Yeah, would you? I was always just the opposite, bitch. I didn't want to hear nothing when they put me out. But now, of course, I'm older now. When I was younger, I never thought about not waking up and that kind of crap. Okay, cool. that's all. That's all right, Robert. I pissed all over myself. I think when I was younger, anyway. Okay, so you can have the you had it done then. You had the block done or whatever it was. The tap, yeah. Yeah, I got to. I'm gonna start finding out. I kind of want to wait till after this crap's over with here. But I mean, I don't know. It's got to end. So I'm gonna wait for that, and then I'm gonna go and get it done. You're estimating June, so that means you'll be here. What, July 1st? You'll be here in Thailand, Mitch. You might as well recover here in Thailand. Why don't you just have it? Oh no, you want the good guy to do it. Yeah, get on a plane and fly here. Wow, this is the longest live stream I've ever done. The other one was an hour. This one's almost an hour. You guys tired of listening to me? Or you want to talk to each other? Did it make you sick, Steve? I've heard ups and downs and stuff about people getting sick as a side effect. Just to sore. Yeah, I guess just some people get like almost like flu sick. Temperature, achy, crappy feeling. But I don't know. I got to find out about that too when I can get that done. And I don't know if I want a China vaccine either. uh, yeah, I know. I know. I did. I gave him 1 million baht, but that's why I tell everybody, man, get the insurance. And like I said, depending on how old you are, right around 2,500 a year, um, and that was from another YouTuber, and he has it, and somebody that came to him and got it. But which sound 2,500 a year? I mean, that's nothing. It's so outrageous in the United States. My poor brother, for his business thing, I could live quite comfortably on the money he pays for his insurance. I hope you are. I'm looking forward to some week or two scooter rides, s- cruising through Thailand a little bit. Is that where you had it done? You had it done at Kaiser. I had my first and second knee surgeries, meniscus, done at Kaiser. In the one in Panorama City, Thai Korean. Okay, broken bone. Ah, that's what you're recovering from now, Steve. Uh, 7. How old are you, Mitch? I forgot. I gotta start writing this stuff down. People are gonna go, he's senile. He keeps asking the same question. Well, yeah. They were, I was young. I was only 18, 18 years old when they did my first one, and it was a nightmare. I was in for 3 days. Worst thing I'd been in my short life. Uh, I mean, I was fighting mad, just the worst experience ever. And when I went back to get the other one done, I said, "Here's the deal," because what they did was they gave me shots of the good stuff for pain, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, they only gave me that uh, one time, and then after that, they tried to give me pills that didn't do anything. So I was miserable for 3 days. They said, "We don't want to give you because you'll get hooked on it, and you'll want, you'll get addicted to it." I said, "Okay, just let me out of this hospital." So I went out of there. I wanted to get the other knee done. I went to the doctor and I said, here's the deal. If you'll guarantee me that I get shot every whatever it is, 4 6 hours, I will come back and take the surgery if you guarantee me that until I get out of the hospital." The doctor said, "Oh, I can't do that." I said, "Well, I guess you're not going to make your Porsche payment this month because I ain't going to get my knee done." And so anyway, he decided to do it. I went in there. I I was only in there for 2.5 days or something. Never had any pain. Had a smile on my face the whole time I was in there, and never took another pill or painkiller after I got out of the hospital. So, I guess it all depends on what you're, whether you're addicted, you have addictive personality or something. You just turned 61. That's you, Steve. Did I miss what? What did I miss? I was fortunate to stay at Kaiser Hospital, Baldwin Park. Okay, I didn't miss anything. You're 58. Okay. But you feel 57. That's great. If there's no mirrors in my house, I feel like I'm 38. But I gotta, I, I will not allow any mirrors in my house. So I just get, I look at my face and go, "Who's that old guy, man?" Sorry to hear about. Yeah, I didn't even know about his broken, fixed ankle, but waiting on knee. Are you in the hospital or are you at home, Steve? Yeah, I mean that second time I was in Kaiser, man, I was in heaven the whole time. I said, boy, if it would have been this the first time, I would have been very happy. But yeah, they gave it to me. They said they didn't want to. I understood what they were saying, but I said, well, don't I have to get it from you? Yeah, well then don't give it to me. You know, after I get leave the hospital, you don't have to give me nothing. Here's a bit of trivia construction. Yes, I'm old. Yeah, I know. I'm 64 years old, and I try to remember back when I was in my late 20s, thinking of watching all these old grandpas that were 60 years old, going, "Oh my God, look at that old guy there, man." Ah, boy. And then life just wants to have fun with you. They like to throw you all sorts of curveballs. That's always fun. What did Steve said? When was in the hospital waiting for surgery? Aspirin. Yeah, there you go. I'll tell you how they started that other surgery. They rolled me out of how the first one started. They rolled me out of the room. They didn't give me my prep shots or whatever it was. They stuck me outside the surgery room as the door was open, as they were cleaning up the mess from the guy before me, as I'm screaming for them to shoot me and put me out and give me some drugs. And they left me sitting there in the hallway for 20, 30 minutes while they cleaned it up. And that's how that started. That's how miserable that was for me. Morning, Peter. How are you? I don't know. I think you're going to like it here, Mitch. Like I say, man, once you get your stuff under control and just go somewhere, as long as you're ready to go, um, and monetarily, and you're going to do it, and you're not going to retire in Seattle. I would come to Thailand, and then once you're in Thailand, if you don't like it, start looking for other places. I still want to go. I'm waiting for all the borders to open. I'd still like to go see what Vietnam looks like these days. I'd like to see Laos and Cambodia and all the stuff around me. Hey, Bad Badger, how are you, sir? Wow. Ooh, 16. We're getting way up there in numbers now. I'm gonna start not being able to read. I don't think I need these on anymore. Let's see. Any stuff? Yeah, I know. I got a few here too for you, Mitch. You want to come look? Like I said, I'd like to get together with anybody that likes to take little cruises around Thailand, whether it be on a 100cc wave or a PCX or a full blown Harley, whatever, and go take a little 1 week, 2 week trips around here. Thanks, Robert. I wish I was about an inch away from getting my dual citizenship. My mom was in Italy 25, 30 years ago, and she was wanting to get it because she wanted to get her dual citizenship. And she was jumping through hoops for him, and it was ruining her vacation. So she said, forget it. She was like a week from getting it all done. And I guess once she got it, I could get it automatically. And she never got it, so I didn't get it. But I would think it would have, it would open up a lot of options. Yeah, your backyard's looking great, Badgerman. You gave me a bunch of ideas. I'm still going to have my little plunge pool in my pond, but I don't have any room. I wish I could have had more land, and I might still someday. We might buy the property next door to us or something. Cool. Yeah, we'll all get together and go do something. I love it. I mean, I can't ride a crap load of miles anymore. When I was young and running around, and I could ride 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Now, when I went to Krabi, and I did Krabi in one run, I'd go 4 or 5 hours, and I stopped. I'm retired. What do I need to rush for? Yeah, that's all mine. All my relatives came from Italy too, Mitch. My born name was Frank Joseph D'Angelo. And then when my stepfather adopted me when I was 9. Oh, no, it was Joseph Frank. And my Uncle Joe was his name. His son was named Little Joe, and then I was Joe. So when he adopted me, I took his last name, and they said, well, why don't you change your name to mine? His name was Dave. And maybe leave your middle name as Joseph, or make your middle name Joseph, and then we won't have this Little Joe, Big Joe. My cousin, the Little Joe, who's passed away. Oh, he didn't like it. Did I lose you guys? Oh, there you are. I'm touching shit. But Yeah, so that was my real name. So D'Angelo and Ianolo is my mom's maiden name. Yeah, anybody. More the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it would be fun. I've been on a few. Um, you want to do? We could probably arrange that, Steve. Yeah, we'll have to all get together, Badger, and when people are here and do little jaunts. I'm up for anything. I've got a 300 scooter, a SYM. I think it's an SYM, and I love it. I'll go anywhere. I got to have a back box put on it, but other than that, it's ready to go. I drove my PCX all over from Phuket to told you to Colac, to Krabi. I drove all over. Hey, WR. William, right? Hey, I remembered something. That's the worst thing I'm afraid of, man, in my life is getting losing my mind. My aunt it happened to, and yeah, it sucked. Alzheimer's sucks. 15 much. We're way up there, but it don't matter. I'm having fun with all the same people that are on everybody else's channel. It's just great. I'm happy to have it. Keeps me busy. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I never thought I would. I'm never liked talking. I never liked to see myself or hear myself talk or anything. And Joe, like I said, he was the one when he did the interview with me right before I got married to Nitnoy about what had happened to me and my wife passing away and why I came to Thailand. It's a good video. And after that, he said, "You should do your own thing." I said, "I don't like." See, you'll get used to it. Just, you know, talk from behind the camera for a little while and then start. You'll be fine. You'll have fun at it. And he's right. I did. I'm having fun meeting people. It'll be nice when everybody can get here and meet them in person, um, and put a face to the name. Will be great. Let's see. Pretending like I'm reading. What did Mitch write? All it takes is money. My niece, my sister's daughter, got her dual citizenship, and the agent told me her documentation already proves. Yeah, I know that my mom's. Once my mom got it, I was. It was just one paper and a thing, and boom boom, and it was done. My mom was the one that had to go through all the jump through all the hoops for them. So it might be the same as what you're saying. 2 more days. Yeah, he is excellent interviewer, Andy. Yes, it was good. I don't know if you've seen the one with me, and then since he changed his channel, it's not there anymore. But I did talk to him, and he's going to put it up. So when he does, I will let everybody know on here in case they want to watch it. Yeah, they are, Robert. Great people. I'd like to make it down there again. I was planning on going again. I did buy that Air Asia pass, and what I did the last time, I went and visited some people in Hua Hin, and I spent 7 days, I think. And I flew into Bangkok, took a van from Bangkok to Hua Hin, got to my hotel, made a couple of phone calls, had a PCX dropped off at the house or at the hotel, and then I took off and drove down and met with Joe and ate lunch. And yeah, really, really good people, not a doubt. Told you I still I'd like to meet Chuck, only just to meet him because I've watched him for so long. To visit Joe and Gift Badger. Yeah, how far are they from from you? Yeah, I've been enjoying his reposts too, Mitch. 480 kilometers door to door. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, I had talked to Joe, and I was supposed to go there on the 4th of July. It was actually